This video is sponsored by Hobbyco. Like a phoenix from the ashes, Fire Force has flared back to life to bring us more blazing insanity. This series takes the idea of fighting fire with fire, literally, with a wild cast of characters using unique fire abilities to fight against flaming monsters known as Infernals, all while uncovering a mystery spanning centuries and alternate realms. After 4.5 years, the stylish, offbeat, and somewhat controversial Fire Force is returning with its third and final season. It's time to fire up and reacquaint ourselves with the fascinating and weird world of Fire Force. Welcome to Gateway to Anime. We help people discover the best new anime and also deep dive into the classics. That sounds good? Hit like and subscribe for more. Fire Force is a unique and fascinating show that occupies an interesting space in modern shonen. The manga is written and illustrated by Atsushi Okubo, who also created Soul Eater, which is pretty obvious after about 5 minutes of watching. In fact, Fire Force even takes place in the same universe as Soul Eater. While some of its humor and ecchi qualities aren't to my personal taste and can make it difficult to recommend as a gateway anime, there's no denying that it's one of the most stylistic and fun shows going around. You can hear more of my personal thoughts about Fire Force at the end of this video. "250 years ago, the world was engulfed in flames, decimating all forms of life and ravaging the empires of humanity. This is known as the Great Cataclysm. This apocalyptic event is the result of the convergence of our world with the desolate alternate dimension of fire, known as Adolla. As a result of the Great Cataclysm, humans began to spontaneously combust, transforming into mindless creatures known as Infernals. But over time, a rare few adapted to survive this process. Rather than becoming an Infernal, these individuals awakened the ability to manipulate and control flames. This ability became known as pyrokinetics. As humanity endured over the centuries, new generations of pyrokinetic users emerged with advanced abilities, such as generating their own flames, a third generation, rather than just manipulating them, a second generation. A first generation is just a plain Infernal. As humanity persevered, rebuilding small societies and cities amidst the flaming wastelands, pyrokinetics users were tasked with defending the people against the Infernals. They are known as the Special Fire Force. The Fire Force operate out of one of the few inhabitable places remaining on Earth, the Tokyo Empire. Powered by a mysterious thermal plant called the Amaterasu, the Tokyo Empire offered a sanctuary for humanity where life could continue with a semblance of normality. This city-state is ruled by the elderly Raffles III, figurehead of the Holy Soul Temple. His ancestor, Raffles I, is hailed as the savior who created the Amaterasu with the help of a powerful corporation called Haijima Heavy Industries. These mysterious organizations wield great power within the city-state and also within the Fire Force. Our story follows Shinra, who joined the Fire Force with dreams of becoming a hero. Yet, the devilish smile which he uses to cover his nerves and his trauma has earned him the nickname, the Devil. Shinra's desire to become a hero stems from his tragic past. The spontaneous combustion moment which granted him his pyrokinetic abilities was blamed for causing a huge house fire, killing his mother and younger brother Sho. Shinra, however, remains skeptical about his hand in these events. One of the first responders to the scene was Fire Force Captain Leonard Burns. So in an effort to learn more about his past and to redeem himself, Shinra joins the Fire Force. Rather than being stationed with Leonard Burns, however, Shinra is relegated to a different company entirely. The Fire Force is composed of 8 companies, each with their own political agendas and distrust of one another. Leonard Burns captains the first company, who is loyal to the Holy Soul Temple, whereas Shinra is assigned to the 8th, the most recent addition to the Fire Force. During a joint training session for the new recruits, Shinra encounters the mysterious and enigmatic Joker, who appears to be on a completely different power level and utilizes a mysterious explosive ash. Joker confirms Shinra's suspicions about his past, warning him not to trust the Fire Force. This distrust is shared by Captain Obi, leader of the 8th, who is secretly investigating the Holy Soul to get to the truth of the Infernal's origins. We also meet the rest of the 8th Company and learn of their unique fire abilities and distinct personalities. Shinra and Arthur attend a murder trial of an ex-Fire Force member when the criminal spontaneously combusts into an infernal. However, he's somehow able to preserve his sentience. Despite this taking place in the 8th's jurisdiction, the captain of the 5th Company takes the criminal into custody to run experiments on them. The 8th then infiltrate the 5th station to confront them. Shinra ends up facing off against their leader, Princess Captain Hibana, who is very much one of the mad scientist tropes Animator loves to wheel out. Hibana is eventually persuaded to join forces with the 8th after battling with Shinra. The big reveal from Captain Hibana is there are infernals being created artificially using strange firebugs. And the two companies decide to investigate the 1st Division, who are loyal to the Holy Soul, in order to learn more about the infernals. The 8th and the 5th work together to infiltrate the 1st under the ruse of a joint training exercise. Shinra first suspects a lieutenant called Karim. However, the real traitor is Lieutenant Rekka, who seemed like such a nice dude. During an infernal attack, Rekka has tricked one of his subordinates, Tamaki, into rounding up a group of kids which he will transform into infernals using the firebugs in service to someone called the Evangelist. Rekka brutally beats Tamaki and reveals his true nature to her before Shinra arrives to save her, which is, quite frankly, one of the coolest anime entrance moments in all of the media. Rekka is eventually subdued by Shinra and the two other lieutenants of the 1st Company, Karim and Hua Yan Li. But before they can interrogate him, he's shot dead by a flaming arrow fired by a group of mysterious white-clad assailants. Shinra and his allies suspect the mysterious white-clad group to be in service of the Evangelist, who may also connect with Shinra's past. The Evangelist is not a being of this world, but of Adolla, the alternate and desolate fire dimension. The Evangelist is the being responsible for the Great Cataclysm 250 years ago, in which the fire realm and the human realm converged. This was accomplished by collecting 8 entities possessing a special connection between the two dimensions, known as the 8 Pillars. The Evangelist is once again seeking the 8 Pillars to cause another Great Cataclysm. Yet these special individuals are yet to emerge, and they need help in identifying them. The human servants of the Evangelist are known as the Knights of the Ashen Flame, a cult-like order adorned in white robes, hence their other name, the White Clad. They serve the Evangelist covertly, hiding within an underground system beneath the city known as the Nether. While their operations are mysterious, their intent is to identify and gather the 8 pillars in service of their master, the Evangelist. Following Rekka's death, the captains of each company are called to an emergency meeting with the Emperor, Raffles III. They discuss the Evangelist and this mysterious white-clad group. Obi and his no-nonsense Lieutenant Hinawa reach out to the mercurial 7th Company for help, headed by the unpredictable and enigmatic Captain Benimaru, who is considered the strongest fire soldier of them all. But whilst the 8th are starting to gain the trust of the 7th, the Knights of the Ashen Flame attack. One of them, facing imminent defeat, uses a firebug to transform into an infernal to boost their power. However, Benimaru demonstrates his fighting prowess by taking them down with ease. Winning this battle builds trust between the 7th and the 8th Companies, who agree to work together moving forward. The Knights of the Ashen Flame report back to their leader, who is revealed to be none other than Shinra's supposedly dead brother, Sho. It turns out Sho was abducted in his childhood and raised by the Knights of the Ashen Flame because he and Shinra possess a rare ability known as an Adolla Burst. An Adolla Burst enables one to tap into the powers of Adolla, the Fire Realm. This grants a tremendous boost of strength to a pyrokinetic and in some cases bestows amazing powers that would be otherwise unattainable. This is an ability which Sho has trained to the point of mastery, whereas Shinra has only just discovered. Those gifted with the Adolla Burst ability have the potential to become one of the 8 pillars. Shinra's Adolla Burst ability is of great interest to a newly assigned member of the 8th Company, Victor Licht. Licht has been secretly working with Joker, and is the creator of this mysterious ash, yet he struggles to fit in with the 8th Company. This is especially due to his previous tenure at the suspicious Hajime Heavy Industries, which they suspect he may still be working for, and the guy comes across as sketchy as hell. The 8th Company is also in need of an engineer, so they try to recruit a reluctant man named Vulcan, known as the God of Fire and the Forge. Vulcan's family were among the original creators of the Amaterasu, but the research was stolen by Hajime Heavy Industries. While trying to recruit Vulcan, who has no desire to join the Fire Force due to their connection to Hajime, Vulcan's workshop is attacked by the captain of the 3rd Company, Dr. Giovanni. Giovanni is allied with the Knights of the Ashen Flame, who are deployed in the assault alongside him. Giovanni has been pressuring Vulcan to join Hajime Heavy Industries, sabotaging his workshop by limiting supplies through his apprentice Lisa, who is working as a mole. Back in the day, Giovanni was one of Vulcan's grandfather's apprentices, before leaving to join Hajime Industries, and later joining the Fire Force. Giovanni defeats Shinra in a fight and leaves him to be picked up by the White Clad. He then enters Vulcan's workshop in search of the key to the Amaterasu, which he believes to be in Vulcan's possession. Meanwhile, Shinra is rescued by Captain Hibana, and he flies back to the workshop to aid his friends, where he finally comes face to face with his brother Sho. While Shinra is overjoyed to see his long-lost brother, Sho has no recollection of their past, and the two begin to fight. Sho is on a totally different level, well-trained in the use of his Adola Burst, and seemingly able to manipulate time and space itself. Sho dominates Shinra, and things are looking grim. That is until Joker eventually steps into the fray and enables Shinra and his allies to escape with the help of Licht. The 8th finally decide to confront the Knights of the Ashen Flame directly. They descend into the Nether, the underground lair of the Knights of the Ashen Flame, and here we get some of the best fights of the series. The most important is, of course, the fight between Sho and Shinra. This is an incredible battle, with some of the best sound design in all of modern anime. Eventually, Shinra manages to gain more control of his Adola Burst, and manages to show Sho the memories of their childhood via their Adola links, and Sho breaks down, finally accepting that Shinra is his brother. Just as things are looking up, Sho is forcibly abducted by a new character and member of the Knights of the Ashen Flame, Homea, and the 8th are forced to retreat. Gravely wounded from the battle, Shinra is recovering in hospital when Captain Burns arrives to visit him. Burns is willing to reveal the truth of his tragic past, on the condition that Shinra prove his worth in battle. Shinra is obviously hopelessly outclassed, but somehow manages to land a scratch on Burns' arm, and Burns finally agrees to reveal the truth. The cause of the fire wasn't Shinra's fault at all, but a result of Sho's Adola Burst awakening. This intense moment also caused Shinra's abilities to manifest, although his own Adola Burst abilities wouldn't come till later. Unfortunately, this event also caused their mother to transform into a demon infernal. In this moment, Homea used her own powers to remotely control their infernalized mother, forcing her to deliver Sho to the Knights of the Ashen Flame. Hearing this retelling of his past, Shinra realizes that he has seen his mother recently in the world of Adola via his Adola link. He posits that if his mother is still alive as an infernal, there may be a way to bring her back. And that brings us to the end of Season 1. Of course, we've left out a huge amount of details, but this is a recap, not a retelling. Comment down below if we did miss anything crucial from Season 1, but that should be all of the essential information. I just want to take a moment to talk about this video's sponsor, Hobbyco. Hobbyco is one of Australia's most nostalgic and trusted hobby retailers. Whether it's Gunpla kits, anime figures, jigsaw puzzles, craft supplies for your D&D campaign, model trains or Lego, the breadth of range is extraordinary. It is the largest hobby store in Australia and the go-to destination for newbies, enthusiasts and hardcore collectors alike. If you're in Sydney, you can head into any of their 5 locations across the city, but if you're interstate or overseas, head to their website to satisfy all your hobby needs. Thanks again to Hobbyco for sponsoring this video. But now, let's dive into Season 2. Shinra meets the captain of the 4th company, Sorichiro Haig, who bears a great scar on his face from experiencing an Adola link to the Fire Realm. Experiencing an Adola link without an Adola Burst causes great harm to the individual. Having been shown the world of Adola, all of Haig's beliefs in the Holy Soul was brought into question. He then convinces Shinra to use an Adola Burst on him so he can experience Adola again and learn more about the Fire Realm. During this bizarre encounter, Shinra is telepathically visited by the mysterious First Pillar, who greatly resembles one of Shinya's colleagues in the 8th, Sister Iris. After taking over Shinra's mind and nearly forcing him to kill Haig before being stopped, the First Pillar then informs Shinra of the emergence of a new 5th Pillar, named Inca. This leads to a race between the 8th and the Knights of the Ashen Flame to capture Inca, the new 5th Pillar. The two factions engage in a huge battle, which ultimately culminates in Inca deciding to join the Knights of the Ashen Flame, mostly because she's kind of a jerk. Following this defeat, the various Fire Force companies dispatches a hodgepodge research group to the Chinese peninsula where the Great Cataclysm took place, looking for clues about the Evangelists' motivations. It's on this research trip they discover the plot of gathering the 8 pillars to bring forth another Great Cataclysm. They also discover a structure remarkably similar to the Amaterasu, known as the Tabernacle, which is located in an oasis among an otherwise desolate desert. While fending off an attack by a group of sentient and powerful infernals, Shinra is telepathically instructed to protect the forest around them from a source within the Tabernacle itself, the Woman in Black. It is revealed that both the Tabernacle and the Amaterasu are powered by a person with an Adola Burst who is trapped within. Shinra also discovers that the mysterious First Pillar, who bears the striking resemblance to Sister Iris and has been appearing to him in his mind, is the entity inside the Amaterasu. The Woman in Black, who is the source of the Tabernacle, originally hailed from Adola and passed into the real world through the rift in space where she met the Evangelist, who infernalized her. She instantly manifested her Adola burst, which then led the Evangelist to turn her into the power source of the Tabernacle. After returning to the Tokyo Empire, they deduced that the teachings of the Holy Soul Temple must be connected with the Evangelist. Joker is revealed to be a defector from the church's child soldier program and was once one of their most promising prospects, known only as 52. He decides to lead a frontal assault on the church with the help of Benimaru in order to get personal revenge and to find answers. These two teaming up is one of the coolest moments in the whole show and leads to some badass fight sequences. It's seriously like the formation of a supergroup. The raid culminates in Joker getting personal revenge on his old mentor, who brutalized him during his painstaking training, leading to one of the trippiest and coldest scenes in the whole show, complete with a sick Persona 5 reference. Joker and Benimaru then encounter Burns, who has a past connection with Joker. It turns out they both experienced an Adola link together, which was the cause of them both losing an eye. But Joker managed to bring a rock back from Adola with him, proving that it wasn't a hallucination, but in fact, reality. Burns gives them Raffles I's wife's diary, which reveals that Raffles was working in service of the Evangelist. In fact, he was actually replaced by a member of the Knights of the Ashen Flame, therefore making the Holy Soul's teachings a complete fabrication, as they are nothing more than an arm of the Evangelist. The Allied Fire Force companies, upon hearing this information, then turn their attention to the equally dubious Hajime Heavy Industries. They are able to gain access to Hajime Heavy Industries through Victor Lick, who has been instructed by Hajime to deliver Shinra to them. Hajime has been secretly running experiments on children, trying to see if one of them will manifest an Adola burst. Shinra himself spent several years there in his youth after he awakened his powers, being trained by the sadistic Yuichiro Kurono, otherwise known as Uncle Reaper. Upon returning to Hajime Industries, Shinra shares an Adola link with Nataku-san, who is one of the children Rekka was trying to turn into infernals, and he is revealed to be the sixth pillar. The Knights of the Ashen Flame then attack to try and retrieve Nataku. Throughout the maelstrom of the battle, Nataku gets infused into a giant infernal monster and goes berserk. All factions put their differences aside to take down the monster, with Kurono landing the final blow. After the battle, Nataku is left under the supervision of Hajime Heavy Industries, and unfortunately Kurono, who agree to support the 8th Company in their fight against the Evangelist. Turns out they've got their own agenda, entirely separate from the Evangelist in the Fire Force. Maki Oze, probably the coolest member of the 8th Company, informs her father, General Danro Oze, in the military about the Evangelist's plans, leading him to send an exploratory force led by his son and Maki's brother. The scout team are attacked by the White Clad while conducting their investigation, and Maki's brother sustains shocking injuries. This leads Danro to take direct action against the Knights of the Ashen Flame. The military have great influence over the 2nd Company of the Fire Force, causing the 2nd and the 8th Companies to team up and head into the Nether to confront the Knights of the Ashen Flame once more. Here they encounter the elite unit of the Evangelist followers known as the Knights of the Purple Smoke, led by the mysterious Ritsu. Shinra once again faces off against Giovanni, former captain of the 3rd Company. Giovanni and Ritsu reveal that they have laid a trap, planning to utilize explosives to collapse the Nether and destroy the city above in the process. Maki, however, manages to redirect the blast and save the city while collapsing the Nether further underground. Giovanni escapes and the Fire Force return to the surface. Shinra and Captain Hibana visit Lieutenant Conroe of the 7th, and it's revealed that he experienced an Adola link whilst fighting a demon infernal, which appeared to be a doppelganger of himself. The demon gave him a telltale scar, reminiscent of Captain Haig from the 4th Company. This scar is inspected by Captain Kayoko Huang from the 6th Company, who determines that an Adola link is still present in those bearing a scar from their contact with Adola. Assuming the Knights of the Ashen Flame are attacking other marked ones, Hibana prepares to warn Captain Haig, but he is killed in his office by a white clad with a golden hand. After training Arthur and Shinra intensively again and then learning of the Evangelist's plans, Benimaru decides to unite the 7th with the rest of the Empire after operating almost exclusively under their own auspices, while the 8th and their new Fire Force allies prepare for the upcoming war with the Evangelist. the Knights of the Ashen Flame overlook the city and prepare for a final assault on the Tokyo Empire. All of these events lead us to Season 3, which will be the final installment of Fire Force. This season will be divided into 2 parts, known as cores. The first core will be airing from April 2025, with the second and final core scheduled for January 2026. Hopefully this recap gave you all the essential information leading into the final chapter, but if there's anything important that we've missed, please comment down below. You can also comment below with what you love about this unique series. Fire Force occupies an interesting space in modern shonen. It's not as mature and gory as shows like Attack on Titan or The Dark Trio. Neither is it one of the more traditional shonen evocative of the old days. It's blazed its own trail with stylistic animation and an irreverent tone. And while I personally dislike some of the more ecchi qualities and wish they weren't a part of the show, I can still appreciate why the series is so beloved. Its world building and power system is awesome. And even though it has some weird elements to it, it is one of the most stylistic and fun shows going around. If you're interested in hearing more of our opinions about Fire Force, we discussed it in our most recent podcast, which you can watch right now. This has been Sammy from Gateway to Anime, where we help people discover the best new anime and also deep dive into the classics. If that sounds good or you enjoyed this video, hit the like and subscribe button for more. You can also follow us on TikTok and Instagram, and if you really like us, you can support us on Patreon. On Patreon, we have exclusive videos, behind-the-scenes content, and early releases. If you want more from Gateway to Anime, or if you want to help us make more videos like this, Patreon is the best way to support us. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.